computer. All right, welcome everyone to the Kured Dev Meeting. Today is Wednesday, March the 24th. I'm just taking a quick look at the agenda doc. Introductions. No, we just have old faces here. Welcome, Jean-Philippe and Christian. As well, I would like to thank the two of you because both of you have stepped up to become Kured maintainers, which is absolutely fantastic, and also a recognition of the work both of you put into Kured in the past. We also have Hidde as an Hidde Bedals. Unfortunately, he can't make it today as a maintainer for Kured, so he should be available for pings to review some code, and some others in Weaveworks I sort of pulled in as well. So and people are generally interested and want to help the project move forward. So I think everybody recognized we have a couple of people who want to contribute, who want to get something done, and so Hidde was one, Kingdon and Michael sort of were around, Brian sometimes as well, and I think they're all happy to be pulled into reviews. We also had Jack Francis from Microsoft who showed some interest in doing reviews and testing, and I hope like once he's also gotten like significant and sustained contributions into Kured that we can make him a maintainer as well. And yeah, from there onwards and upwards, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. So
I'm writing that down in the agenda in the meantime. Sorry for the
yeah, no, I
just for the shameless plug. Don't hesitate to continue on. I mean, to also anyone is welcome to write notes in the meeting notes.
Yes, I'll contribute some notes in a bit. I saw you were typing furiously, which is great. Yes. So I think some of the bits that are on the agenda right now are actually were proposed for a previous meeting and they were copied over. So we should check if things are still recent. Any of the agenda items are from the two of you?
The last one is from me.
Yeah, okay.
The flexible reboot command.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Jack wanted to have another agenda topic, which are about commit messages. So we can already talk about that, or we can wait for him to be there on the next call.
Okay. So Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't know. Increased test coverage, Prometheus notifications.
That is probably me then, if no one.
Yeah. Okay.
I can tell a bit. I haven't worked on it and I haven't written a proof of concept yet, but I think that what we could do in terms of, I would say, integration test or functional test is to also test Prometheus. So the reason why I want to bring that in is because when we are doing pull request right now, we are testing that it functionally deploys on Kubernetes and Kured behaves properly, but we don't test the Prometheus integration, for example, does it shows the metrics right, or will the reboot be blocked if there is a matching Prometheus thing? And because it's not automatically tested, when we have a proposal bot that is saying, well, we'll update Prometheus, we can't know. So the only way to know is to really test it on a test cluster. So it's very hard to automate all these kind of bumps. And so it will take us efforts where I think that QD is quite low maintenance. So if we were to just have all of this automated and we just run manual test once per release, that's even easier for us. So I would say if there is anyone that is interested to try this and to increase the test coverage, please don't hesitate. And if not, I guess I will tackle it eventually. But anyway, don't hesitate to contact me, and we can pair on this.
Do we have an issue for this?
I might have created one, but I can't remember. I'll have to check.
I think that would be a good start, hashing this out. I think, yeah. I just hope that the add unit test for Slack Prometheus behavior, and it was closed by the closing bot. Okay, I just reopened it. Reopen issue. Okay, I'll add it to the
so I don't think it needs to be scheduled for like the next release or something, but as long as we keep that in mind and we eventually do it, I think it would be good.
Yeah, and I really like your suggestion of pairing. I think that's a great idea. To hash out ideas and write a short proof of concept, or a couple of test scripts which you can build on. It's usually much more fun than doing this on your own. Super.
I agree.
Super.
Another thing, maybe we can test the Prometheus things, would be that we record the HTTP messages we send to Prometheus and compare them with messages we expect in the test. So no full integration test, but a small HTTP message comparison or something like this.
Yep. I think that the metrics interface, for example, is very easy to unit test. So we can probably start with that one. And indeed, it's going to be like just comparing the HTTP interfaces or something like that. But I didn't want to dig into the details yet. And I have the impression that we're going to work on that together now. I'm volunteering you.
Yeah, another good way would be to basically write down like a small script for how to test this manually. I think that would be helpful. So, for example, if for the next release we want to update the Prometheus dependencies, that I can go into our dev cluster and test things there, but that you sort of brief me like what I need to do to break or unbreak it. Yeah, that would be great.
That kind of reminds me of something. On your side, I think you might have I would say test in the development cluster or some kind of test procedure. And well, if that could be public or that could be documented, that would be awesome. I remember that Brian caught I mean, when I changed the kubectl to make it part of QD directly, I remember Brian caught something, And I expect that this was because you had some kind of extra testing, and all the extra testing I think is good. I just mentioned here the Prometheus and notification as one, but we should not hesitate to increase the coverage because it will basically bring us the peace of mind for releasing.
So the way we set this up is that I think in a production cluster where we have things like Weave Cloud running for our customers, we automatically pull in releases. So we track some server logic, something, and they get automatically deployed to the cluster. And for the dev cluster, we just do any build from master. So we use Flux, which monitors the image repository and then deploys Kured from there. Christian, did you have a question?
No.
Ah, good.
All okay.
Yeah, okay. And sometimes I would override this for, let's say we have a build, for example, like Say's work, where we wanted to check if you know, the Slack notifications work. Sometimes I would just deploy some other Kured build, Kured image on the dev cluster, and then basically spin it up and then just play around with the individual nodes and trigger reboots and just see what happens. Like sometimes we have alerts, you know, any kind of alert, like something is is broken in dev because of some other deployment, and then I can easily see, okay, you know, Kured does the right thing. It doesn't, you know, just go wild and reboot all the machines.
So for example, when you don't have a reboot, you manually create some kind of the Sentinel or the Sentinel file or something like that, and see how that goes.
Yes. So a bit, we basically have, we have like Weave Cloud for our Weave Cloud cluster, and I can just pick any of the hosts and then have like a small terminal opening and do like touch var run reboot required, and that's it. Okay. Yeah. It's yeah. So my testing is really very, very basic. It's more or less what you would do in a Minikube. It's just that we have more things hooked up to it, like, you know, Slack is configured and Prometheus is properly hooked up to it.
Yeah, I think that's the main difference, is that it has real workloads and it has Prometheus, and it has where the test that we run on PRs is just run Kured. So it's not the same, right?
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay. Are you happy with what we got out of the discussion on this agenda item?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Super.
For me, we know what the next steps are. It was just more an announcement than the decision making.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine too.
Yeah. Okay. So I had a small one. This was an idea that was sort of left over from one of the previous meetings, and we haven't gotten around to it. Yes, I thought it would be a good idea to, especially now that we have like new maintainers on board, I think it would be nice to write a blog post about the Kured story so far. So maybe starting at the time when Adam sort of left, because I think it could be a nice, if we write this up like nicely and talk about all the features we and other people added, it could be a nice way to get some more folks involved and get the project more active, because we all know that quite a few people use it because we get issues and sometimes PRs. But I think it would be nice to get some more people involved. So I think I'll just set up a Google Doc like for a draft for a blog post, and then I'll also ping you and see if you have like things you would like to see covered in such a blog post.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, super.
What's even better is that you propose yourself to writing that down.
Yes, I mean, I often write blog posts for open source projects, especially if they're around community things and things we sort of, accomplish together. But like, I mean, I don't want to write what we celebrate. Like, if you have other things you would like us to focus on, or quotes or whatever, like, sure, let's do this together. I'll let you know.
What did you think of the timeline? Do you think that it would be to announce, for example, the next release for QD? The reason why I'm asking this is because I have the impression the next release is kind of bigger than usual. We are not only bringing a new Kubernetes support version, but also new features that we've started to develop. So it might be a good announcement to say, well, this is very active. Here's the evidence.
Okay, give me 1 second. What is the Kured Dev release? 121 release calendar. Oh, hang on. Okay, so April 8th is the release is the 121 release. Yeah, I mean, I think the last time there were still a couple of round edges, sorry, not round edges. That would be nice. Some nicely rounded edges.
Round edge. Yeah.
There were some rough edges with the last Kubernetes release, and it took us some time to properly test everything. But I think if we aim for the week after, so maybe what is it, the April 15th or something, that week, if we get a release, it should give us enough time to test and get everything in order, and then write a nice blog post, not just about what this release does, but also some of the story behind and what the next steps for the project might be. I think that would be fantastic, and it would give us enough. It would give us like three weeks to figure out the release and also the blog post, which I think should be generally realistic.
Yeah, I don't want to push ourselves to something that we can't achieve, right? It's just that I thought it's could be matching in terms of time frame. But yeah, because this release is bigger, we're gonna also need to test more, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, and also the timeline with 15th of April as destination date. I think it's a good way. We can start and work to get this done.
Super. Do we want to do a quick review of what's still left for the one? What we still want to do for the next release?
Yeah, we should probably do that. I'll create a new.
Yes. Okay. I mean, I can share my screen. Share this one. Yes. Font a bit bigger. Can you sort of read this?
Yes.
Good. I know it's fairly dark. But it's just
I'm super happy when they made it a dark mode thing. So
good.
I'm happy.
Good.
Yeah, same for me.
Okay. So like we have, the good thing is over on the closed end, we have quite a few PRs which have already landed for the upcoming release. And I just checked earlier. We have like quite a few things which landed since the last release. So it is actually, yeah, a good time for us to, to get a release out. So I think the flexible reboot command was something you wanted to see, Jean-Philippe, right?
Well, I want to highlight again that I have no big stake at this game. But when I saw all those, I would say PR that are re-implementing each other, and I thought, well, it's something that people want. Let's make one big pull request that is matching what everyone is thinking. So this is what I created. So I'm not sure if those are pull requests or these, or yeah, those are pull requests. Those are not only issues, right?
Yes. Hang on. So it looks like it's 297, which is the actual pull request that addresses this.
I can't remember the number, to be honest.
Sorry, I just looked it up. So I think it would make sense to add this to the milestone.
Yeah, and so
7, here it is. Yeah.
With this one in, I'm thinking that, well, the users will have to implement their own reboot command. But for example, for CentOS, instead of guessing, are you on CentOS, then run this command. Are you on X, run this command. We have a framework and we say, oh, you're CentOS, well, just use this command, and we just document it.
Yeah,
and so
super.
For me, it makes kind of sense. It's not solving something that we have had pending for a certain time, though, which is the use a different kind of mechanism to reboot. So there was one PR that was targeting to for security purposes, that wanted to remove the privileged bit of QD pod. Daemon set, sorry, whatever it is, and the goal was here to use something else internally, but that's not inside the scope of that PR. I think that this could be done later, but I mean, we need to take baby steps first. I have the impression. So
no, I think that I like your suggestion that we put a framework in place and getting out like small incremental updates which either change something in the docs or add an option for whatever their operating system is. That's going to be much easier in the future then.
So when you're thinking of those PRs, then the first 3 can be summarized to 2 of them are documentation changes, and 1 of them is the well, sorry, there are 4 PRs that we're talking for the flexible reboot commands. 1 is to be merged. 1 is the documentation, the CentOS bit. The 43 I can't remember, but I think it's close to the implementation of the 297, and the 178 is will need to have some kind of rebase or some kind of work to work with French OS. So we might need to contact the author here so that it re-implements, or not re-implements, but updates the pull request. And so my question here is, what do we want to make part of 171 of 170? Do we want to tackle all of that? Do we want to have a subset? Should we decide as a group?
I would like to see the 297 in this release, because it's the basic for all other things. I think it refactors it and it makes it more flexible, and we can build on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Did all of the other issues, did we ping the folks on those issues to have a look at 297 and test it and give feedback?
I think I did. I have to double check for all of those. I will do that after the meeting.
Super. I'll note this down. Contact.
And because it seems like we're also pointing towards another milestone, I will probably add the 180 milestone into those.
Sorry, the one dot which milestone?
I mean, the next one, basically.
Yes, that's something we could do as well. Yeah, for sure.
So this way we know that it's if it doesn't make the cut, it's going to be at least for the next one.
Or we can always do a 171.
Yeah, but that's going to be a new feature, right? So makes sense for Semver to add a new.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, up until now we sort of reversed the reserved the .o releases for whenever there was like a new Kubernetes release.
Yeah, I didn't mean. Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't think there is an urgency. That's my point. It could wait for the next. At the same time, it could wait for the next Kubernetes release.
Okay.
But if there is a rush, well, I guess we can still build a 171 or something.
Yeah, I guess sometimes we just wanted to get a new feature out, and we didn't want to wait for to be in step with Kubernetes release. Yeah.
Well, if someone wants to have that thing merged right now, I guess the good solution is to contribute.
Yes, you have 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. I felt Alexei's 315 his PR, which would give us more notifications options. I thought that it was very, very close now. I tested it in dev. There's only like a really small thing we still need to fix. So this is close. I seem to remember we wanted to update the Prometheus bits as well, right?
Yes, it's probably worth it.
Do we know if there were any API changes we would need to look into, or was this mostly just?
I don't know, and that's why I like the compatibility thing generally when it says that it's all good. Here I don't know, and because we don't have the test, this is more manual.
Sure, and I'm happy to go test this. Okay, retry. He was one of Jack. I don't know how urgent this was. Retry daemon set get operations. Sorry. So just to talk about it in the next meeting. What do you think? Okay.
That was for a subpart. That was for the conventional commits. That was not for the core of the retry daemon set get operations. So maybe we could do this offline and
Yes.
do it in the in our Slack channel, because Jack isn't
Fairly
available
responsive
right now.
Yeah. So I'll add it to the milestone. For now, we can always chuck it off the list. But I mean, in general, this list looks doable. So Alexei's work is pretty close. Prometheus, I can test and in dev and see if it breaks. And then there's basically mostly 2 PRs left. Like yours was fairly close as well, and Jack's work.
Yeah, if you don't mind, because mine is touching quite a bit of code, I would prefer that we merge mine also because it has already one review.
Yes. Okay. Hang
So,
on. Okay. So.
And
so,
also, if it's
sure.
breaking, I can still fix it. So let's
Okay.
press this grid button.
Okay. I mean, Christian, do you have the button as well?
Yes, I have the button.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we merge this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're both maintainers, so.
Yeah, I have my my self-inflicted rule that I will not merge my own pull requests.
Right.
And so I'm sorry if I'm a
No,
bit
no,
rigid on that.
I mean,
No, that's okay.
some projects do it like that. That somebody reviews it and then you merge your own. But whatever. Like, I mean, if this is close and this has been reviewed and we addressed all the feedback, then cool, super. Excellent.
Well, so we've progressed on that release a little bit more.
Whoop, whoop. Yes. Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, and I think we're basically done with our milestone review. That's looking good. Looking good to me. Prometheus devs update. Alexei's notification work. Jack's set. Super. Okay. Stop share. Still sharing. Okay, so note annotations, proposed agenda item by Jack Friends. I think this was Jack and I discussed this in the previous meeting, so we can get this off. Flexible reboot command is taken care of, and somebody wanted to talk about commit messages.
Yes, I didn't, but Jack did. So
Right, okay.
This is why I added it in the agenda. Could you reopen the link that you had on Jack's PR? There
yes.
was a mention of
Sure.
something.
Of course, we'll try to find the something.
Yes, conventionalcommits.org and in Jack answer. Okay, so I don't know what's the status. I've seen that in the past to have some kind of convention in how we write commits. I personally don't have a problem with that, that we establish this kind of convention for new commits. I just wanted to highlight that if we want to have this, we should probably have the tooling to ensure that we are from now on using those conventions. So we should probably add a test for that. I'm fine with that. I don't have I don't oppose to it. I just don't know it enough. So I think that maybe it's something to be discussed if we want to move towards that way. The positive, I guess, the positive aspect is to automatically generate change logs based on the
Release notes.
those conventions. Yes.
Yes.
Release notes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think
I have no opinion. I have no stake at this game.
yes.
But I think that Jack wants it has this kind of habit to do it this way, and I think it's a good habit. We need to decide if we are moving towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've no strong opinion for this topic too. So yeah, maybe we want that, but it's not mandatory, I think.
Yeah. I think if somebody can demonstrate the use of this, so like if there's whatever, some GitHub action or whatever that produces a really nice release notes thing based on commit messages, I think if somebody can show that off somewhere, so we would see the benefits of it, then I would be more inclined to move to this. But I think we shouldn't get in people's way. Like I've seen it in other projects. As soon as you start imposing more red tape on people, like add more bureaucracy, you just get more PRs that are just sitting there just because somebody didn't know how to, sign a commit or whatever. So I would say, like, if we don't have any concrete benefits out of it yet, let's not enforce it yet.
I agree with that stance. Too much red tape reduced it increased the barrier of entry, so it reduced the willingness to contribute.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if we had like machinery that generates the release notes, and I don't need to write them. I think that's great, but in the absence of that, but if somebody wants to add chore to their commit message, whatever, like, I don't care. Like, please do.
Yeah, so it could be like an informal way that we do it too, right? It could be something that helps, but I think that we should indeed motivate Jack to show us the impact of what he's proposing. And so, Jack, if you hear us, if you hear this recording, we just volunteered you on new work.
Yeah, for example, if you, I'll add it to the thing, to the agenda, but I know that we have it enabled in the Weaveworks UI components, which is like a JavaScript thing. There, the team thought it was a good idea to use this, and I know whenever I try to update or change something, it complains that I forgot to add one of the accepted prefixes. I always forget about it until I touch this repository again. But yeah.
Yeah, but there are tools for that, right? Like pre-commit hooks and all these kind of things.
Yes, so. Exactly. It is actually some conventional commits something JavaScript bit which complains on commit. It tells you you're not allowed to commit, like rewrite your commit message. It actually does that. Yeah. Yeah. I always get like a very healthy, don't tell me what to do reaction to it.
I see reaction. No.
Okay, super. Anything else from your ends?
No, not from me. I think all is covered.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Yeah, super. Thanks a lot for all your help, for everything you did, and I look forward to putting this release together. And I'm good.
Likewise.
Super.
Thank you
All
for your
right.
time.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Have a good day, everyone.
Yes. See you around.
Bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye.